This podcast is brought to you by JBP Music Incorporated.
On this episode of the podcast, we're going to talk about Young Thug and his cross-dressing and having two brides, himself and his female bride, in dresses at his wedding. We're also going to talk about the HB2 Bill and what it means for the state of North Carolina. And we're going to talk about this presidential election and how crucial it is for you to get out and vote. Welcome to the hottest new podcast in the nation. What you are about to hear will stimulate your ears. We're talking news, relationships, entertainment, and occasional answers to your questions from the mailbag. I won't be your trash when I'm in the club. Hey, what's up, y'all? We finally together. Yay!
Hello, Assata.
Hello.
You are in the room with us.
I can't believe we're all finally here.
She's like, hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm mellow
Must you
tonight.
peer at us over those glasses?
Yes, I'm mellow tonight.
Oh.
Ooh, that's good. You know, you kind of remind me right now of Benjamin,
I
Benjamin
you.
Franklin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right, nice glasses.
Thank you.
So, I am in week 2 of my dreadlock journey, and I just want to say,
Faux locks.
Faux locks. Faux.
at least I didn't say fox.
They're long.
They are
At least I didn't say fox.
They look heavy.
very and hot.
They are.
Heavy and
Oh, is
hot.
that why you have that headband
All of
on?
the above. All of the above. I've grown new muscles in my neck that were not there before.
So you have to sleep with one of those, you know.
I sleep the best way I can.
I know, but I thought people with like really long dreads, they had the, I don't know what you call them. What do you call them? The big hat.
Oh, yeah.
That you know.
Yeah, I should. But
Okay,
do
but
you
you know what I'm
know?
you know
But
what
do
I'm
you?
talking about.
Yes, I know exactly what
Okay.
you're talking about. But the acrobatics required to get all of them into
That.
Yeah, I just
You could twist them up though, right?
I don't have enough hands.
Hmm.
I really should have got the 14-inch,
Well, how long are they?
18. Yeah.
They're pretty though. I mean, they're really pretty.
Why? Thank you.
They're
Mhm.
big.
She's got big hair.
Yeah, give me about 2 more weeks. Well,
No.
okay. Thanksgiving weekend.
You gonna take them out?
Yes,
then?
ma'am.
How long should they last?
2 months, right?
I don't know, but I'm not. So Tonza, what's up with you? How was your week? What's going on?
Nothing much. It's been pretty. Well, actually, I've had a pretty eventful week. When I think about it, I was able to go to Ithaca this weekend.
Awesome.
My nephew pledged Alpha, and his probate was Saturday, so we drove up to support him and had a really great time, and he was very happy to see us.
Awesome.
It's really good.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to see the step show and, you know, just watch that whole process for him. So that was fun. But I came back, went to court, and I've been pretty fixated. I'm kind of going to go off script a little bit here, but I've been kind of
What script?
fixated
I don't see a script.
on my behind.
On
Can we
your
talk about
behind?
my behind for a little while?
Your
My
your
rear,
hind parts?
my derriere.
I'd really rather not, but if we must.
Okay. And well, she asked how my week was,
Okay.
and I just started thinking about my derriere because there's been a lot of questions coming up about my weight loss. And I had an experience yesterday when I was in court where one of the assistant DAs, I thought he was getting ready to talk to me about a case because he was like, Tonza, can I talk to you for a minute? So I go over thinking we're getting ready to have this serious dialogue about a case. And he's like, I really need you to stop losing so much weight because, you know, there's nothing for me to look at back there. And I'm like, what? Okay.
Awkward.
So we're in court and I'm like, I'm going to slap your ass. And the judge is on the bench and I'm threatening to hit him. But I started thinking, a couple of people have said that to me here lately. And so.
Well, how did that make you feel? Like, did it bother you?
The dialogue between me and him, no, it didn't bother me at all that he was talking like that. Maybe because I'm just getting older and I'm just like, oh, whatever, dude. And I think we're used to it because that's kind of the dialogue.
I was going to say, it's kind of like an occupational hazard. You get used to people talking about all kinds of things that are inappropriate.
Yeah.
And, right.
Yeah. So you just kind of let it flow because most women would be like, oh, my God. I cannot believe you said that, and they'd be ready to like fight.
Well, I mean, I don't have that problem at all. In fact, if I could donate some of mine, when you die and you can be an organ donor, if they could, instead of putting a heart on mine, they could put like a behind a butt, and I could probably take care of 2 or 3 people, in one passing.
Well, I told her I would be more than happy. We could go to the plastic surgery place, and I'll be on one table, she could be on the other table. They can suck the fat out of me, and they can pump it right into her. Be fine with me.
Yeah, because Assata walked in right after it happened, so we're sitting in court waiting to handle our cases, and I was like, Assata, oh my God. This is what happened. And so I started talking to her about how a couple of people have said that. And she was like, I'll be happy to donate some.
Oh, my God.
So then we started talking about the whole dating scene. And I was like, yeah, I wonder if the fact that I don't have a butt is affecting, my dating. Because guys are probably like, oh, yeah, she's like cute. And then when I walk by, they're like, oh, ooh.
Oh, that's a dilemma.
Well, I guess the question is, because you started this journey in an effort to be healthier. Have you reached your weight loss goal?
Absolutely. At this point, I'm not really trying to lose more weight. I'm very happy with where I am. I don't want to get any smaller. And the fact that I don't have a butt was okay with me until recently.
Until men started pointing out that you didn't have one?
Not even just men. But
women too?
Okay, I've been...
Well, no, children?
Let me think on it. All right, let me rephrase that. Not because men have been pointing it out, but I guess... Yeah, they brought attention to it, so I started paying attention, and I've been looking at these episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and I'm like, God, they have huge butts. Like,
but silicone will do that. You know that
you don't think that
they were born like that?
Yeah.
No. High five for the stereo.
Girl, get over it.
Yeah.
I think you're proportionate. I think you have, just like all of us. Well, I think I could give you some, but I think you're proportionate. You don't want to be small up top and huge down below.
Right.
And definitely not the reverse.
Right. I agree. Like, when I look at my body, I'm like, it's where it should be, but come on, y'all, let's just face reality. A butt is kind of important.
Well, you know what I'm gonna tell you. You need some bacon.
Well, I didn't say bacon, but I was like, you need to eat. That would help.
Well, she eats, but she doesn't. She eats lettuce.
No, she doesn't even hardly eat that sometimes though. She'll go all day sometimes and won't eat. Ask her.
Okay, so you're gonna have to start keeping a food diary.
That would be helpful.
And you're going to have to do it on Google so you can share it with us so we can check it off.
Okay.
Because even if you started doing like workouts and stuff, right, Joan, you have to have protein in your body to build muscle and to tone. So you've got to eat something to,
so that I could tone up.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you need to have something there to tone, which is muscle. I'm not trying to play.
So now we're going back to this whole lack of... Okay.
And the guy that told you that, let's just put it out there. He was white, right?
I didn't know that?
Oh yeah, he's white.
Oh.
yeah. And
Which
so-
was also kind of shocking to
so
me.
if a
And I
white
debated
guy,
about
if-
whether I wanted to
if
share that.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there have been like
Two.
two white guys
Uh-huh.
that have,
So
and I'm
if,
like,
if white men are telling you, hey, look, check this out, your behind is a little bit not a lot for me to look at. Something I think might be wrong with this.
see, I
I'm
wasn't going to
just-
share that,
I'm
but yes.
But that was an important fact.
Right.
Yes.
See,
That's
people,
why you're a good attorney too.
okay,
You
thank
need
you.
to bring that to light.
Right. I felt like that needed to be
I
shared.
was trying to hide that.
Okay.
Oh,
But yes,
boy.
this is true.
So we agree. Protein, food diary.
Yes. Yes.
And at least
but
be
let's
able
just
to appeal to the
say,
white
To be
guys.
clear, because I don't want the listeners thinking.
Right. We ain't even
What?
got to the brothers yet. We trying to get white guys. on the show.
So that's the question for our listeners. Exactly how important is
A derriere.
a derriere?
Right. And I want it for
I would never say that word derriere. I know we're trying to keep it clean. Booty.
Okay.
How
booty.
important
Booty.
is a plump booty to
Well,
you?
Right.
And I
think
mean, I
that's
know-
a good question. I think we should take a survey of that. And
Yes, we could put that out on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, but what guy is gonna say,
no.
I like my women flat?
Flat.
Oh wait,
As a
wait,
board.
pause. Pause.
As a board.
Like, hold on. I understand that it's small, but don't be trying to call me flat as a board, you two.
Okay. We're sorry. We didn't mean it like that.
Thank you.
We didn't mean it like that. But two white men, no, I just had to say.
That's a strong indicator that something's going wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so first up, we're gonna discuss Young Thug and his appearance on his latest album cover in a dress.
Right. I mean, not just a dress. I mean, like a
Dress.
Yeah.
dress.
Yeah, it's very elaborate.
yes. I was just reading. They said it took hours to get it set up for him to do the photo shoot. Hours.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah.
Well, see, I would be a little. I mean, I'm gonna put it out there. I mean, if I came home and my man
Your boo was in a dress.
yeah, that I would pause.
Yeah.
We need to talk,
Right.
like for real,
Right.
Where is my burgundy gown?
right?
He's got it on, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got it on. Well, okay, I know I'm fixated on the Kardashians, but they said that Chris knew that Bruce was cross-dressing and stuff. He would wear heels and things around the house. So some women are okay with it.
Okay, but does the fact that a man wants or is cool, I guess, wearing a dress, does that mean that he's got some kind of gender issues?
Yes. No.
Yeah, because this says that Thug said, I feel like there's no such thing as gender.
Yeah. Well, I think younger women are more accepting of things like this. Like, they wouldn't be taken aback if they walked in and their man had on a skirt or a dress. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know about
they
that
they
either.
embrace Young Thug and like his music, from what I understand. I don't know, but that's a little awkward to me. Like, I do not want to see my man in a dress. It would make me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and then for him, it's not just dresses. I mean, have y'all seen some of his other shoots or
Yeah.
whatever? He's got one where he's got like this sequin top and it's cropped. It's clearly a woman's
and he has
top.
on makeup and some.
But it's clearly a woman's top.
You know what? It's 2016, and to paraphrase my grandmother, we liable to see anything on TV and media. You know, now you've got Jaden Smith and Kanye West and several celebrities that have been photographed or made public appearances in
Skirts
dress
or-
like, they're man skirts, but they're skirts.
No, Jaden's, I think, are.
Well, yeah, he's wearing kilts.
He's
Oh.
also skirts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think we can ask a man, not a single one of our listeners, how they
Right.
feel about this, and it's going to be resoundingly,
Something's wrong with him.
yeah.
Mhm.
H no. Well, they will actually say something much more graphic that we
sure.
can't say on the show.
Sure.
So you think
Right.
you're saying they would say something's
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
with him?
If you show,
Absolutely.
if you show
Okay.
this picture to any man, particularly in our age range,
And in our area, I mean, we
In
are
our
in the Bible
area,
Belt.
too.
right?
they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, something's wrong. He's gay.
But is that what they would say in, say, New York or some of the larger cities in the fashion meccas? Because in that article, I think the photographer or somebody was saying they woke up at 2:30 and they saw the picture and they were just like blown away at how beautiful it was. And I was like, really?
Yeah, there it is. I think it's a designer
In Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So in Italy, him wearing this dress is totally acceptable, but in Eastern North Carolina, folks would be like,
Not okay.
I
I'm
think they
gonna
would be
say-
much more
he
drastic
looks
than that.
very feminine.
I
His
was gonna
face,
say, I think I don't care where he wore it. He could wear it in Times Square. I think anyone seeing him would be like, okay, that's a dude in a dress. And yeah.
I think the reaction would be different. You talk about location. I think in the northern parts of the United States, they see this kind of thing all the time, so the shock value's gone. Versus
Yeah.
down here, it's like, oh my God.
right, right. Well, let's just say I would not be comfortable if I came home and my man had on a dress. I would not.
No,
be
no.
Or if he said, Tonza, I was thinking, can I borrow that black skirt of yours? No.
Or wearing my underwear or anything.
No,
Oh my
that's a deal
God.
breaker. That's a deal
Yeah.
breaker.
That's just nasty.
Yeah.
Well, that too. But I mean, some men have that fetish.
Huh?
Some men have that fetish.
Of wearing your underwear?
Yes. You've never heard of that?
I mean, have you?
I
Got some
mean,
explaining to do.
I ain't never been with nobody that wants to wear my drawers. But yes, there are men and they like wearing women's underwear.
Who are
Google
they?
it. Google
Who
it.
are they?
Google it.
They like to buy women's underwear.
No, ma'am. Wear them. Wear it.
Wear their women's underwear or go
We-
buy some.
We can talk about we can look it up and talk about it next week. But I'm telling you, there's some men out there that's what they like to do.
I mean, I barely have room in my underwear. How does a man have room to get in some women's underwear?
That I can't answer for you. You know.
How does a man have room?
I mean, their
come on
underwear
now, let's
is
not
made.
act like they're all the same size here.
I know, but they're not. I mean,
I would think. Okay, fine. I'll say
They
that.
can't
A
wear
man-
thongs.
I mean, if
with
they're
a
Hanes your
large-
way,
If they
Hanes her way,
Or-
maybe some
or
bloomers.
Bloomers.
Right, bloomers, maybe. You talking about? But we're talking. Y'all are
We're
referring
not talking
to.
about thongs, are we?
Why don't we
Okay,
look
yeah.
at it and see?
You raised the issue. I just wanted to, but yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that and come
Yeah,
back to
we
it.
should come back to that.
Yeah.
I still say that I'm not really down with this whole dress thing. No. I mean, you know.
Well, my understanding from my daughter is that he also made the statement that there were going to be two brides at his wedding because he was going to be a bride and his female bride, would be dressed as a bride.
He also said, I was reading another article about him, he likes women's clothing because it fits him tight and I guess conforms to his body, but he likes wearing women's clothing, and I think that's I won't say something's wrong with him, but I would say he definitely has some
Issue?
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
I
we can
think
get
that's-
Young Thug to come talk to us one day
Yeah,
about why
I
he
think
likes
that's
dresses.
gender
Wouldn't that be
bending.
so cool?
I think it would be way cool.
Yeah, that's gender bending. I mean, you know, right? And I guess too,
Like you all were talking about Prince last week.
well, yeah, Prince, but also like young MA, right? I mean, she looks like a dude.
Well, she says she's identified as gay since the first grade.
Yes, she does. But what I'm saying is, I think we accept a woman looking more like the male prototype.
Speaking of Young M.A., I love that song. Ooh.
I think we but I think we accept it better from a woman looking more like a man than we do from a man looking more like a woman. No.
When I see women that look like dudes, I'm like, really?
Really? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, to each his own, you know.
I agree, but
sure,
it does make you pause. Come on, when you see a woman that like really looks like a guy, it does make you pause.
That goes back to the shock factor, though, because you know, we've mentioned that the two of you are attorneys, and I'm a high school. Well, traditionally, most of my career, I'm a high school teacher, and I have seen the transformation, the wave of girls just totally starting to dress like boys, like totally like buying boys' pants, you know, the snapbacks to the back, the do-rags.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not so shocked anymore when I see either way.
I guess it's but you see more girls or women adopting
the male role,
a male
persona.
Yes, than you do. I mean, because anytime you see a man, generally, if you see a man here in this area, you know, he's got hair or nails, but you know what I'm saying? And you rarely...
What? Wait.
Where have you been?
I mean,
Assata, where are you kicking it on the side?
You act like you've never seen guys around here that have affected a female persona.
Okay.
You've never seen men around
I've
here?
seen some.
Right.
Yeah.
And they really take on, they you know, usually either have grown their hair out or they have weave.
Yes, but they also are mostly they identify themselves as gay. And so my question is, does Young Thug
is not
identify as gay, or is this just a fashion statement, or does this fashion statement mean he's
I don't think
gay?
he identifies as gay, though.
Right.
Because he has a girlfriend or fiance.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he identifies as gay. I think he just likes wearing female clothes.
He says he feels there's no such thing as gender.
But he likes female clothes.
Hey, man.
But I mean, do you?
Do it.
Right. Do you? I mean, hey.
But you could not be my man in no dress.
This is America. So
yes, I agree. And somebody loves him.
Sure.
But Tonza would be disturbed if she walked in and saw her man with a dress on.
And the same thing for
and high heels.
Anyone. I mean, if that's what you want to do, hey.
I could see my kids now meeting me at the door. Mom, your boyfriend, try your shoes on.
He can rock them too.
He had your skirt on too. He heard you coming. He ran in there and took it off.
Okay, so a hot button topic has been HB2, which is generally called the Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act. But because of the buzz that's been generating, as there are all these major sports and entertainment people are pulling out of the state because of it, it's really become a political issue. Are y'all familiar with HB2?
Yes, but I think I want you to explain it so that our listeners, I think a lot of people think that it's just the bathroom bill.
Oh, absolutely.
No. Yeah,
no. Absolutely.
If you'll explain it so that they can know.
No, it's absolutely not just a bathroom bill. So, in a nutshell, there are 4 major changes to North Carolina law. Okay, the first obviously talks about the bathrooms and public accommodations, and it requires that the public agencies designate and restrict multiple occupancy bathrooms based on the user's biological sex. Therefore, transgender users would have to go into the bathroom that they were born with, not the one they're transitioning to.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Do they have people like guarding watching the bathroom? I need to see your genitals, please, and see. I mean, how
can you police
hell
that?
I don't know how you would police that, but anyway, that's the first one.
That's dumb.
Secondly,
and have we had spike in crime because transgender people go into.
No, but I'm going to tell you why why I feel like it was done this way.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, and then I think more importantly, what HB2 does is it allows discrimination in public accommodations. So it permits businesses to discriminate against LGBTQ customers and bans local governments from then prohibiting that kind of discrimination. Okay. The third thing that it does is it restricts the local government authority over employment practices. So it prohibits cities and counties from having living wage ordinances or policies that would apply to private employers or the businesses they contract with. And then I think the most important one, and what everybody misses in the statute, is that it permits employment discrimination. What HB2 does is it allows businesses to discriminate not only against LGBTQ applicants and employees, it allows private employers, it eliminates a person's right to sue a private employer if they fire you for any discriminatory reason like age, religion, national origin, race.
Wait a minute.
sex.
Whoa.
Clearly, when it gets to the United States Supreme Court, it will be struck down as unconstitutional.
Well,
Wait. Before you answer that question, are you saying that before this law was passed, we were protected against being discriminated against because of race and gender and all that stuff?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And now,
state law and in federal law, what HB2 was, it eliminated that for North Carolina. Okay, it took away those safeguards for North Carolinians.
so you can be fired now.
Yes, just because you're black, they can walk in and say,
Well,
"I don't like."
Don't tell them.
let's
tell
be
that part.
clear. Let's be clear.
Okay.
It's been going on.
Oh,
They
sure.
just found other ways to characterize it.
Yeah.
So they fired us because we're black, but they just didn't say, you know what, I just don't like you because you're black.
But now a private
can say
employer
it.
could say it to you. I don't like you because you're black.
But it seems like they wouldn't hire you. 'Cause
Well,
you go
or
in black.
You don't have to be hired either. But the thing is that then you have no state remedy. As long as this is
Right.
on the books, you have no state remedy. You have to immediately go to federal court and meet the federal thresholds to come into federal court to sue. And that's what that's why I feel like the law was designed in a way that people can hang on to. They can like HB2 because whenever you say, oh, well, it prohibits transgender people from going into the same bathroom. Well, anybody who's a parent of a daughter will be like, well, yeah, I don't want any boy going into the girl's bathroom with my daughter.
But why would we want to, with all the other things that you named, why would we want to even put something like that on the table to be passed? Like, North Carolina.
But I think that with a Republican governor and with a Republican General Assembly, what has happened is anything that comes through that just sounds good, it goes through, and then the governor, rubber stamps it, so it just gets pushed through.
Which is why I am going to tell everybody listening right now, it's election season, and it's not just about the president of the United States. That's
pretty important.
It is, but you need to educate yourselves on who's running for state senate,
Oh, sure, definitely,
Absolutely.
governor, your local government, your town councilman, everyone, because what's happening is we're going into the voting booths and we're seeing the small names on the docket, on the ballot. Thank you. And we don't know who they are. We don't know them from Adam.
Sure. A lot of people do that with judges. They don't know who the judges are.
And you just pick one.
Right. Right. And you really should not do that. You need to educate yourself before you go in
and then
there.
later when things go haywire, well, how did it happen? Like now, I'm like, how did this happen?
Right. Well, and then and then the other thing is that, again, people don't understand HB2. They just understand the little bits that the media puts out there. Oh, it's just about transgender. No, it's not. HB2 also prevents a city or county from enforcing. So even if, say, for example, Bertie County had passed an anti-discrimination procedure or law or ordinance, HB2 invalidates that. It wipes it out. So it makes it so that doesn't exist anymore, and you don't even have that remedy.
True.
Yes, exactly. And so again, that's why it's so important that people actually, because a lot of people that I talk to about HB2 initially, they're like, oh, I'm all for it. I'm all for it because I don't agree with these transgender people, and I think they should have to go in the same bathroom.
Which is so dumb because they have no clue who's in the bathroom with them anyway.
Well, yes, but then I'm like, look.
Dumb.
But then I'm always like, look, you really need to look at this because it doesn't. I mean, that just is the very tip of the iceberg. HB2 eliminates all of your employment rights
and protections
from city and local government. As a black person, everything is wiped out. You need to understand this law that you say that you support so much. And that's why I think a lot of people, particularly when you're looking at the Republican Party versus the Democratic Party, they find a way to embrace, Hillary Clinton, because it's like, I mean, when you put up the one against the other, it's just kind of like, how could you not vote Democratic in this election? Okay, so a lot of people, I think, in this election feel like it's an election of, the lesser evil. I mean, even though Donald Trump is
crazy,
yeah, or
ignorant,
okay. Some people refer to him as a clown.
Racist.
That's another
Sexist.
one. Sexist. Well, definitely. Oh my God.
Homophobic.
It's like every day a new woman or RuPaul comes out and says they've been sexually harassed by him.
Well, he did say all you have to do is buy them some furniture, take them out and buy them some furniture, and you grab them by the pee.
Right. That's true.
Really?
But I think quite a lot of people would also say that they do have strong concerns about Hillary and not necessarily her ability to govern. I mean, there's probably not a person on the planet that's more prepared to be the president of the United States than Hillary Clinton. But I think the Republicans have done a good job of painting her as not being trustworthy and not being truthful about Benghazi or the emails. And I think because of that, people feel like, well, I don't really like her, but I'm going to vote for her because he's so crazy.
So I really don't believe that the whole trustworthy thing is an issue. I think that is an excuse because people don't want to, or let's just say it, men don't really want to address what their issue is, and that is that Hillary is a woman. And I think that the other issue is that people don't find Hillary to be very friendly, personable.
Right.
And that's a big issue for people, which I don't understand. I really don't understand, because when I'm looking for my presidential candidate, I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a person that's competent and able to do the job. And I feel like Hillary has shown that she is more than able to do the job. And she's shown that over the course of her entire career through her dedication to public service. So I think that until we talk about what's really going on, which is some people can't fathom the idea of a woman being president, then we're not going to really get to the nuts and bolts about why people are so reserved So for as far as Benghazi's concerned, like, I don't think we need to know as citizens everything that is going down with our government. I think that, some things they need to keep to themselves. I'm not concerned about that. I don't feel like she was being dishonest. I feel like she was faced with a situation. And if people are dealing with certain things under crisis, they react a certain way. And the hindsight is 2020. I'm sure she looks back now and says, oh, I could have handled that a little better. But who can say that they've never been in that situation where they were faced with something urgent and they feel when they look back at it, I maybe could have handled that better. So I think that that's just ridiculous. I also think another issue that we're not discussing is the fact that Hillary is pro-choice, and people have a problem with that.
Yes, a lot of people have a problem with their position on abortion.
And so, for example, I'm very open about the fact that I'm a staunch Hillary supporter. And I posted on Facebook, my Facebook page, that I support Hillary. And I got a random message on my page where some person stated, oh, she just does everything she can to kill babies. And I was like, really?
That's ridiculous.
Right. Why do you say that? Because I didn't want to shut them down. I want to understand, why do you feel that way? And they said, well, she supports, abortion. And so babies are killed every day because she supports abortion. I don't really see it as her supporting abortion. I see it as her supporting a woman's right to choose what she does with her body, which I am in total agreement with. I do not think the government should be able to tell me as a woman whether or not I should carry a baby to term, or whether or not I should be allowed to make the decision about having a child or an abortion. So it's not that she's necessarily a pro-abortion, because she's not saying this is what I would do if faced with that situation. She's saying this is a woman's right. So until we address those issues, I don't think we're really going to get to the nuts and bolts about why people are so afraid of Hillary.
Well, I just want people in our area to vote, period. It is our responsibility. And I hate to sound like I was alive in the 60s, okay? But people died to give us the right to vote.
Right.
And someone was telling me yesterday that, Martin Luther King made it so we can vote. No, you need to know the Medgar Evers story.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Gunned down in his yard,
yes,
in front of his children.
Yes. Now, he didn't know us. He didn't know who those people's children and their grandchildren would be. But people were sacrificing their lives, and I think we have a responsibility as a minority who at one point didn't have equal rights. I can't imagine what it must feel like to have to go into a restaurant through the back door,
right,
or stand to a window,
a special window.
And just for no other reason, exercise your right. Because you can't complain about the lawmakers. You can't complain about the government and it's a conspiracy this and conspiracy that if you don't do your part. And this is whether we're voting for the mayor.
Right.
Dog
and
catcher.
if you're in school, if you're in school, you need to vote for SGA.
Sure.
Right.
Every chance that you get to vote,
you should do
you
that.
should make sure that you vote.
But don't you think we're failing young people? As I'm 45. So I get the argument that young people just don't get it and they are not exercising this right that so many people fought so hard for. But I look at myself and say, what am I doing to make sure they understand what people did so that they would have this right? And sometimes I feel like we're failing in our age group to pass that knowledge down to younger people so that they understand the importance of voting.
You know what I think? This conversation that we're having right now, you're having it with your children. Mm-hmm. You're having it with your children, and I have it with my child.
Right, sure.
These conversations aren't happening at the dinner table for a lot of families.
Right.
They're not talking about fiscal responsibility. They're not talking about voting or college education or, what trade can you pick up that can be a lucrative career for you. Those conversations aren't taking place. And I think in the community, we're depending too much on the schoolhouse
to raise the children.
to do. Yes,
But
I mean, I really, and this is again from my view from within the classroom. There are so many things that are commonplace for us that a lot of children haven't been exposed to the point where something as simple as going to the precinct that you vote, something as simple as that and casting your vote is of minimal importance.
And I agree that the dialogue needs to be taking place in the home, and parents are not doing their part. But I strongly believe in the village mentality. So I don't think that it is sufficient for us to say it's not happening in the home and that's why they're not getting it. Because it is our responsibility as a community to make sure that our children are educated, whether they belong to us or not. And when I say educated, I mean about voting rights, about all things that affect our race. Because if King, Evers, and all of those people that fought so hard for us to be where we are now didn't have that village mentality, we would not be where we are now.
The problem is, if I'm a child in a low socioeconomic situation, I'm going to listen to the community members that I most closely identify with.
That's not necessarily true.
Right. I mean, I think
This is just my perspective. I mean,
Well, sure.
these are conversations that I've had with students that I've taught, that I've had to explain. I wasn't born in this suit. I wasn't born a basketball coach. I was born in this neighborhood. I had to break down so many barriers because the perception is when they look at us, when they look at successful, particularly successful women, Black women, they don't think we can identify with them. In a lot of instances, they don't think we know what it's like in the hood. You know, I personally grew up in the hood.
And my experience has been that they're not really looking to see if I can identify with what it's like in the hood. They are looking to see if I'm a sincere individual and whether or not I care about their plight and what they're going through and whether I'm willing to listen and be open. So my experience has been a little different from yours. You know, no, I guess I don't have the hood card, even though we didn't grow up wealthy by any means. But with the young people that I've dealt with over the years, they just want to know I'm sincere. My clients want to know I'm sincere. So I don't think that is a reason to not.
Well, if that's the case, more people would be voting because all the churches are saying go vote. I don't agree. Well, we don't have to agree, but
that was the point I was trying to get to, is that I think, particularly during the 60s or whatever, that the push came out of the Black church, and that used to be the social mechanism that educated the Black community. That's how we knew how to go and where to go and
where
what
the NAACP meetings were.
It was the Black church, and what happened is we have, as a community, have gradually shifted away from the church. And because we have, and because of all the scandals with Black pastors and things of that nature, we no longer look up to those people as figureheads of our communities. And so because of that, and, you know, just society are changing in general, I think you find people that are more saying that people who have become successful can't relate, or things like that.
That's a generalization. That's not what all I'm trying to say is there's been a cultural shift, like you just said, and I know that in a lot of instances the children are underexposed to a lot of key pieces in American life.
Here are underexposed.
Sure, more less exposed than most.
Right.
And I think that's the issue. And you're right, Tonza. That's a good question. What am I doing to help educate them? You know, what are we doing? But one thing that we can do is on this podcast, everybody, please exercise your right to vote. If you're not registered this election, get registered and vote. Do your part. Thank you for listening to the Systenomics podcast. Please make sure to check us out on iTunes, We're also on Google Play and Stitcher. Peace.
I told you